Good morning. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, people. Let a few people come in and we are going to get started talking about our business this morning and ways that we can grow our business and just a complete business chat all together this morning. I'm always trying to figure out ways that I can help people in their business, and today I got some things on my mind that I want to talk about, probably tell you guys a couple of stories about things in business, and then talk about some of the things that you should be doing, in your business to get to the next level. And of course, as you guys can see, Bosscation registration is open, and I have placed Bosscation back on sale. Of course, it went up to $7.95, and I dropped it back down for you guys so that I could help even more people. Bosscation is a yearly event that Ken and I host here in Dallas, Texas. Well, this year it's going to be in the outskirts, which is going to be in Heath, Texas, and at a beautiful, beautiful $1 million mansion, guys. It's going to be a awesome retreat and a great, great experience where you're going to be able to network. You're going to be able to come in and learn about marketing, how to get those sales, how to get those customers, branding your business, and of course screen printing, because screen printing is my main thing when it comes to my print method. Screen printing is always going to be it. But at this Bosscation, I'm really excited because we are going to teach you how to start a business even if you don't have equipment, so that when you leave Bosscation, as you are waiting to get your equipment, or if you're having hiccups or anything like that, you will know how to reach out to those different distributors and price things where you're outsourcing from print brokers. So that's going to be really, really exciting for you guys to be able to do that. So I'm going to tell you guys a little story as we are waiting on a few people to come in. And as you can see, I am making up me a little book here. I've got my different index cards, and I wanted to put it on a Rolodex, but then I said, you know what, I'll just do it like this, and this is going to really, really help me in my business. I've had one before and just decided, hey, this is for writing down quick things, keeping up with passwords, keeping up with clients. Each client will have a little notebook here, and of course I have that stuff. I have all of my clients' information on the computer and online. However, guys, when you have stuff sitting in front of you, it just reminds you sometimes that, oh, this person is having an event on such and such date. So I will have literally 12 of these, and each one will be marked with a month, and there are certain events, certain things that I have clients that do throughout the year. Or let's say, for example, I know that there's something coming up in October. I may jot down 10 contacts that I want to reach out to, and so this is just another aid for me to grow my business. Right? Let's see. I'm going to see how many of you guys are on, and we will get to chatting in just a second. So, tell you guys a little story. And hopefully this helps someone. So sometimes in your business, you have to set up rules, right? I'm going to make this really, really simple. You have to set up rules in your business. And we have rules that deal with the way that we print. It deals with our processes and things like that. But we also have to have customer rules. And in order for you to be successful and to have a life work just to balance your life and work, right? You have to set up certain rules, guidelines, and stipulations for your customers, and you have to qualify customers from time to time. So some of you guys may be like, what do you mean you have to qualify customers? And what I mean is that, you know, every customer is not your customer. And the faster that you find that out in business and that you learn that, the faster you can grow and find those customers that are perfect for your business, and those clients that you're going to have a long lasting relationship with. So I'm going to tell you guys a little story. Let me get over here and get over to the channel so I can say good morning. Y'all know how it is when you come in. Say hi and let me know where you're from and all of that good stuff. Hey, Rita, good morning. Good morning, Renobia. Carmen, good morning. Good morning, Michelle. So on my customers' credit cards, good morning, Split Decisions. I'm going to answer your question and then we're going to go ahead and start the video. So as far as customers' credit card information, there are some clients that I do have their credit card information. Now, I do not store their credit card information. That credit card information is going to be stored with the payment processor. So if you use so normally if you're using an online payment processor, then you know you probably wouldn't. Sometimes you can. I use Stripe and I use Square, and I've used Chase Payment Tech before in the future, and with Chase Payment Tech I did not store customers' credit card information. Just because I don't want to be responsible. However, when my clients go on to pay their invoices, because most of my orders are clients will reach out for a quote, and then once they reach out for a quote, I will send them back a quote, and I will also send them a link to make a payment. So I don't necessarily like do what they call quoting. It's like I give you the price. This is the price for this. This is the price for that. And then I'll send you over an invoice. It speeds things up. So it's kind of like you ask me for pricing. Instead of me just giving you a quote and kind of leaving the ball in your hands, I go ahead and send that payment link. That way, if the customer does decide that they want to go with me, and why shouldn't they, right? They can go ahead and make the payment and get the ball rolling. So when they click there to make that payment, they have an option of saving their information or not saving their information. I have clients who I've been doing business with 10, 15 years. I have some clients that I've been doing business with 2, 3 years, 4, 5 years. And then, of course, new clients. Most of the time, just your regular clients that are maybe they're getting a family reunion design, or they're having a event that's a one-time event. They normally won't keep their information on file. But if you have clients who you repeatedly do orders with, like I have one client that I have a contract with that I actually outsourced this big job, and they're getting shirts throughout the year, and so I get payments throughout the year from them, and that is automatic. They're set up on an automatic payment schedule, and the way that works is you go into your account, you set up what's called reoccurring payments, and then so let's say they have something in, I think they pay like every 2 months. So let's say if it's on the 1st of the month or whatever date, I actually think theirs is on the 17th of the month. So on the 17th of the month, every 2 months, they get a invoice, right? And then that invoice is due within 3 days. It's pretty much up to you whether you want to keep their information or not, but I do not keep clients' credit card informations on something like this, even though, you know, my house is pretty secure and all of that, but this is just an old school way of keeping things. And we live in y'all, we live in this digital age, right? To where everything is done on a computer. How many of you guys can remember your childhood phone number? We had to remember phone numbers, addresses, things like that. Nowadays, you have these phones and you don't have to remember anyone's information. So it messes with people's memory, right? And so a lot of times, if you have a lot of things coming in through emails and stuff like that, you may forget that, hey, there's an event that I do every year in September, or you see something on social media, you've been doing some research, and there's a certain particular company that you want to print for, right? And you're planning on popping up at an event where the boss is going to be there, or you're planning on reaching out to them the next time, or maybe someone has had an event. A lot of times I have people who have events, corporations that have an event, and maybe they did not go with me, or maybe they've seen me somewhere and they say, hey, Latana, we're going to have an event at such and such time, or I saw on your LinkedIn page that it's January, but in October you're having this big convention. That's what these are for, to go in and remind yourself that this is what's going on. So throughout the month, let's say if we've got January, I can say, okay, we're in October. Let me go see what's going on in January, and then I can start promoting a few months beforehand, or at least reaching out to those people and letting them, and shooting my shot. So that's what the Rolodexes are really for. Okay. So, hey, Jesse. So, I can tell you guys a little story. So, I had a lady that reached out to me. Perfectly normal conversation. She wanted to get a quote, and I think she actually called me on a live one day, and she wanted these Bella Canvas t-shirts. So I spoke to her on the live, and I actually told her that those shirts were offered in toddlers, that we do them in toddlers and not in infants, right? And everything seemed completely normal. So we had the conversation. I sent her over the quote for the shirts and I'm thinking, okay, we're going to be doing 2T through 5T, and then we're going to be doing maybe some youth and maybe some adult. But I have pretty much set the stage that we're not going to print infant shirts. And the reason, and we do print infant shirts, but the reason that we cannot print these colors in infant colors is because we cannot get them. And when I say we cannot get them, they're not offered on our website. So for companies like Bella Canvas and most companies, you guys know that most companies do not sell infant shirts. Or when you get into the infant sizes, they become limited on the colors of shirts that you can get. Okay, so anyways, everything was going normal, and I sent this lady over a quote. She sent back over the sizes, and once she sent back over the sizes, about a week later, let's go into that, right? So whenever I talk to people and I give them a quote, I tell them the time frame for printing. My time frame on screen printed merch is going to be 5 to 10 business days, which means normally 7 to 14 days, right? We do, and that's going to be for screen printing when they're screen printing in bulk. And I do not offer any type of screen printing less than 24 pieces. Anything less than 24 pieces with us, between 6 and 23 pieces, we will do DTF, and we are able to do 6 pieces and up, right? So, and we can do that as fast as 3 days, right? So they place the order one day. If the order is in on a Monday before 9 a.m., we can get it out Thursday morning by 9 a.m. So that's how things go. We have stipulations on time frames, because if we did not have time frames set up, then and you have to set rules and stipulations in your business, because with those time frames, that's what we know that within this amount of time we can order the shirts. We have time to get the shirts in. We have other customers in front of clients that we are working on other jobs, and this is our rotation, right? So when you then turn around and say, oh, you have somebody who wants something next day, it throws off your normal rotation of you working, right? And it confuses things. So if you're going to be confused and you're going to be rushing to do things in your business, you have to look at it. Someone's procrastination, right, on their part, because they procrastinated or they decided to do something last minute, does not constitute an emergency upon your end. And when you live by that motto, then you have to charge people for those rush jobs. So if a client wants something rushed from me, then there is a fee, and those fees are set fees, and those are pretty much set in stone, point blank, period. We do all this type of stuff for a reason, and we only offer rush fees if we have availability, because a lot of times I just don't want to be bothered. And once you get your business rolling to a place of where you don't have to take rush jobs, or you can pick and choose the jobs that you want to take, your business will prosper. You'll be happier in your life, and everything's going to be just hippie hi-yo, in your marriage or whatever, in your relationship, honey. Everything's going to be good, right? Because we eating good, we feeling good, we looking good, everything's going great. And that's the phase that I'm in my life. So anyways, I send over the information to this lady. She sends me back the sizes, and she sends me the sizes. I send her an email and I say, hey, these sizes are not available. They're not available. She says, well, Bella Canvas website has them, and sends me a screenshot of the Bella Canvas website. Now, mind you, when we start the conversation out, I send you the link to our product catalog, TSD. I could care less what Bella Canvas has on their website, right? Because if sometimes big distributors or manufacturers will have something on their website and your distributor does not have it on their website, right? And so they don't carry it, you don't carry it. Now, could I go out of my normal routine and go over to Bella Canvas and place an order for those shirts? Yes, but I don't want to pay shipping, and that's not what I do. So we've already discussed that. So I tell her, hey, if you'd like to set up a Bella Canvas account and ship those shirts directly to me, I'll be happy to print them. Problem being is that you need shirts on the 10th. And we've been going through this for about a week and a half now. So you will not have those shirts on the 10th, right? But we'll still print them. Of course, you will need another screen to print those shirts. So we kind of go through that. And then after that, it's like, okay, I'll do that. And then after that, I get another email where now you want another color. And it was, what was it? So this particular client decided that she wanted tri-blend shirts, Bella Canvas tri-blend t-shirts. However, she wanted heather colors that were offered in the Bella Canvas 3001, which was their ring spun cotton t-shirt. So there became a disconnect. So I reach back out and I say, hey, are you wanting tri-blends or are you wanting ring spun? Because these colors are offered in, the colors that you requested are offered in ring spun shirts and not tri-blends. But she specifically wants tri-blends. At this point, right, that I've sat down or you've sat down and you've explained how things go, then you have to then explain that, hey, we do not manufacture shirts. We do not do custom dyeing. We are printers and we print on blank products that are pre-made with colors and all of that stuff, right? It gets stressful. So at this point, I throw my hands up because it's starting to be that you're a little bit too picky for me. And it takes a lot for me to walk away from a client. So a few days pass by. Mind you, today is the 6th. She needs these shirts on the 10th. And guess what? A few days pass by, y'all, and I get an email that says, hey, let's just go with the tri-blend shirts and we'll go with the colors that you offer. Awesome. Let's send out the invoice. Now my mindset is already saying, boy, at this point, my mind goes to, this is going to be a problem customer, and I'm going to have to really make sure that I dot my I's and I cross my T's for this client. Now, I'm giving this one client all of my energy for 60 shirts, and I have clients over here who I've been doing business with a while that need 600 shirts, 500 shirts, 200 shirts, 20 shirts, 30 shirts, and everything is just moving smoothly like butter. But I have this one client who is just and new, right, that I have to baby and hold her hand. So send over the invoice, and my invoices, guys, when I send over my invoices, I have a templated email that I send over that says something like, hey, your order has been placed pending payment. Right? So we'll say your order has been placed pending payment. I'll send them the payment link, and I will tell them what happens after they receive the payment. After your payment is made, your order will go onto our production schedule, and you will receive a job proof within 24 hours. Now, this is the TSD's policies. This is the policy for TSD. Not that we treat anybody different. 2 days go by, well, actually the weekend, because I sent that over last week. Weekend goes by and we do not get a payment. Monday morning, I get a email that says, hey, can you send me a job proof before I pay? No, I cannot. At some point, you have to draw the line, because these are the rules, right? And I know a lot of times you think to yourself, well, T, just do one last thing and then you got that payment for that $600. However, you have to look at, you take that money, do you want to deal with that headache? And you have a client who's going up against you in your rules that you have set. I have customers who pay, all of my customers pay their invoices. Now, there are times when I have a client that we did some caps for. I didn't even send him an invoice. I didn't send him an invoice till after the product was delivered. However, we have a long-standing relationship. We've been working with each other for about maybe 7 or 8 years now. And we did some embroidered caps for him. And I was unsure that he would like the quality of the embroidery, because I don't offer in-house embroidery. So versus me losing a client, I will sometimes place an order so that I can check quality, and then I'll send it to them and they check quality and then they pay. Now, in the event that something had gone awry with that and that he did not love those caps, I would have been on the hook for the order, because of course I paid the vendor to print those caps, right? That's something that I chose to do in my business. And the reason, and the only reason that I chose to do that in my business, is because this man has spent tens of thousands of dollars with me, and I would never let, and the order was for like 10 caps, so I would never let a $250 order ruin a relationship of where someone is spending tens of thousands of dollars with me. And when I say tens of thousands of dollars, let's say maybe in the last 7 or 8 years, maybe he spent $50,000, right? So I would never let something like that come into play or mess up a business relationship. So that's a example of when I would do something like that. So I actually emailed this lady back and told her no. Our process is that you make your payment and then we'll send you over a job proof. And the reason that I can do that, guys, is because as you build your business and you grow confident in your business, right? Then now it's either your rules and people can choose to place an order with you or not. But I have a very good website that has tons of images and a photo gallery of prints that we do. We're very well known online. You can Google us. We have a strong business local profile with reviews on it, with all of this stuff, right? And here's the thing. The job proof was just a white PNG image. And of course, could I have popped it on the shirt and did that? Yes, of course I could have. However, like I said, we have rules in place for a reason, because had I bent the rules for her, she's been pushing me and pushing me and pushing me to bend rules and bend rules, right? I cannot reach your expectations. And before I deal with the headache, I'll just go ahead and cut it off. And you know that little vein that pops up, you know, like right here and right up in here, that was starting to happen for me. So the best thing for me to do in that situation was to say no, and we're going to stick to the rules, because why do we have rules in the first place? We have that rule is set. We created the rule on sending a job proof in the first place because we have tons of people who ask for quotes. And we run in, they say, hey, we want to get this done, we want to get that done, and then we create the job proof, we go through, we do all the artwork, we vectorize everything, we send everything over, and then they go somewhere else. They would take our artwork and go somewhere else with the art that we have vectorized for them and things like that. So nada. Now, of course, our policy is that once a customer makes a payment, and this is all explained in our email, so there should not be any lack of understanding. So when I send over the email about the payment, right, and how the job proof works, it does state that we do not print over here, honey, without the order being approved. So when we send over a job approval, it's not as if someone pays us and then they're stuck. Right? We've never had a job not be approved. It's either the job is approved, it's not approved, and we have to go back and make changes in order to get it approved. So that's the process, and that's why it takes, 5 to 7 days to get their stuff. So just saying all of that to say, in business, you have to set your rules. And soon as I did that, I had a big order come in, several big orders come in to say, and so, in business, it's all about learning who your customer is. Y'all, I knew from the moment that I got the email saying Bella Canvas has it on their website, I knew from that moment not to put too much into this lady, right? But I'll still reply to my customers, but my reply gets slow because I already know that I'm pretty much wasting my time with you. My mind starts to say, okay, well, so tell me, if you have products on your website and this is what you sell, and then your customer tells you, well, Custom Ink has this on their website, it's just plain blatantly disrespectful. Okay, y'all, so Bosscation 2024, baby. Folks have been hitting me up and saying, girl, what's up? You ain't been saying nothing about Bosscation. Let me tell y'all something. Sometimes if it's good, you ain't really got to push it like that, right? So Bosscation 2024. What is Bosscation about, y'all? Y'all see on there I said link the keys. Let me see here. I need to fix that strolling text. So, Bosscation, learn. Let's go in and let's change that up. Anybody got anything they want to talk about in the comments before I get too deep in? So I'm going to give y'all this Bosscation pitch, and it's not going to be a big pitch. It's just going to be what's simple and truly what it is. Hey, if you want to grow your business, if you're having issues or problems in your business, Bosscation is the class for you. And the reason that I'm going to tell you guys that this is the class for you is because if you're wanting to do business, right, and learn from someone who really gives a fuck about your success, that really wants to see you win, I'm your girl. Pure and simple. Ken and I have been screen printing for close to 25 years now. We've been running this business. We started doing consultations, and not even consultations. We started doing our first screen printing class in 2009. I started teaching screen printing classes out here before any of these big companies started teaching screen printing classes, y'all. Well, not before any of them, but before a lot of these local ones here started teaching screen printing classes. I know what I'm doing, right? I'm not here to sell anyone equipment. I'm not here to sell you on products. I'm here to help you grow your business. I'm here to help you with skills. When we talk about the screen printing aspect of the business, learning the screen printing portion of the class, right? A lot of y'all say, well, hey, I can go and I can watch you on YouTube. You'll never get on YouTube what you will get in person at a live screen printing event. And I say this because people who have taken my class have told me, hey, this has changed my life. And I have trained hundreds of individuals throughout the years to go on to grow successful businesses. And I only know of 3 individuals that ended up closing down their shops, right, that did not make it. And those 3 individuals that I know of that did not make it in the print industry, they did not continue to reach out. Here's the other thing. With me as your trainer, you get a one-on-one with me. You're able to pick up the phone and you're able to call me. You're able to text me even after your class is done. And when I say after your class is done, I'm talking about like years later. I have people say, hey, LaTonna, I'm running into this problem. Can you help me with this? Nobody else out here is offering that. So, you know, when it's good, you ain't got to push it. We're going to have a good time at Bosscation. And if you want to learn from somebody who ain't trying to figure it out, right? We ain't trying to figure out nothing over here. We already got the plan. The blueprint is here, right? The blueprint is at Bosscation. We already got the blueprint. Sales, marketing, branding, we got it. It's over here. Printing, we got it. It's over here. We're not having any problems with it over here. So if you want to grow your business, who better than me? If you're printing manually, if you're printing with an automatic printer, I've done it all. If you want to print in a brick and mortar, I've done that. If you want to print at home, we do that. So it's all around here, baby. Okay? So just my little pitch, Bosscation, y'all. VIP check-in is September 20th. Checkout is September 23rd at 10 a.m. in the morning. Classes are held September 21st and September 23rd, and we gonna have a good time. Y'all see that crib? Y'all see that crib? We gonna have a good time, okay, at Bosscation 2024. When I tell you we're gonna jump in there, I got some stuff. Oh, baby, I got some stuff planned for y'all. If your problem is dealing with branding, I got you covered. You don't know who your customer is, I got you covered. Need a marketing campaign, I got you covered, right? Emails, email marketing, Google marketing, I got y'all covered, okay? Social media ads, I got you covered. Just getting custom, just there's so much stuff that goes on. I can't even explain it. And here's the thing. Absolutely nothing. Understand me when I say this. When you come to Bosscation, you get a one-on-one with me. Absolutely nothing is off the table. That in itself, a 15, 20, 30-minute talk with me, that in itself is worth the cost of Bosscation. Because the things that you guys want to ask sometimes that I don't answer, you can ask it at Bosscation. You can have those private moments to ask a consultant anything that you want. That anything, because here's the thing. Everybody's business is different. Everybody's goals are different. And I find that a lot of times when training people, right? Just a one-fit-all solution, it don't work for everybody. It don't work for everybody. Telling you to go out and get something that's not within your means, it don't work for everybody. So what I do is take your circumstances and where you are at in your print business and give you strategic steps to move you forward, right? I can't wait for this Bosscation to happen, because when I tell y'all we gonna have some fun, we gonna eat good, we gonna lounge out by that pool, we gonna do some print, we gonna do some awesome prints, okay? If you're having problems with your print technique, with doing your underbases, if you don't understand simulated process printing, I got you covered, right? I got you covered. So Ken's got you covered. Let's put it like that. Ken's got you covered. I got you covered too. This Bosscation, y'all, we're going to be super, super focused on making sure that people leave there and they have the tools that they need to grow their business. It's nothing like any other screen printing class that you've gone to. And here's the thing, y'all. You don't even have to be a screen printer to take this class. To come in and do this retreat, it's much more than screen printing. I'm branching out in business, right? And I wanted to add something to this because so many times I train people to print. You learn to print, then what? Right? You learn a process, then what? So you look at it and you say $4.97. You can pay for Bosscation as low as $47 a month. Did y'all know that? Oh yeah, as low as $47 a month. You can pay it out on payments, and for $47 a month, you're getting a class and some training that's going to change your life. I don't know what else to say. I'm going to drop the link over here in the comments, and then we just gonna get off of it because there's nothing else to say. So hopefully we're gonna go ahead. I'm gonna go ahead and start back doing the promotions on Bosscation and get this thing filled up. It's gonna be amazing, and that's all I can say to you guys about it. And go over, look at, if you're thinking, you know, hey, I wonder, is Bosscation for me? And you have any questions, you can always go over to ladyprintboss.com, reach out to me. And ask me any questions that you need to know. Hey, I'm having problems with this. Is this going to solve this issue, right? So $4.97 is the class, the 2-day classes. We also have the special where you can actually, if you want to, and this is, Bosscation is not only for women, Bosscation is for men. We do have men at Bosscation this year. However, men will not be able to stay in the house. So you will have to get a room. But if you want to, if you are a female, born female, and you want to stay at the mansion with the Lady PB, and you want to get those VIP perks, honey, you can stay there at the mansion. We have that package. I think it's $1,097 or something like that, which is going to be awesome because y'all know I'm going to bring it. And so we have a lot of stuff that's going on. Yeah, it was just too much, Renobia. Sometimes, and sometimes it's like that with people. It gets to be too much. And so now you're without shirts and you're ripping and running and trying to figure it out. But it's not my issue because I've done literally everything I can do to help try to solve, the problem. Hold on one second, guys. So today I have a order that I have to do a quote with. I'm going to tell you guys. So there was a time when I totally hated to quote expensive merch. Like merch that costs $20 or more per item. I'm like, I really don't want to quote that, right? And a lot of times I would run from printing those types of jobs because if you don't know what you're doing, right? And even if you do know what you're doing and you're printing on something that you never printed on before, it may have some type of Scotch Guard finish on it, some type of special stain repellent on it or something like that, and it may, if it's got poly in it, it may bleed. You got to use dye blockers, all kinds of stuff. So I would run from those types of jobs. And as I got better and better in business, then it's like, okay, we can do that. Sometimes you have to know, like, is there a better process for printing this job? And that's where, so I'm going to be doing some jackets, and it's going to have a left pocket. And if they go with full color logo, then I'll probably switch up my print technique, and I may print that as DTF prints because of course it would be cheaper. Y'all know I'm all for DTF prints now, especially when I'm for DTF prints when it's small logos because it's very affordable. If you're doing DTF on smaller things, it's very affordable. When you're doing it on high price merch, it's makes good sense. Especially if you have a logo that is smaller and it's not big all over the shirt or all over the jacket, and you don't have that roughness and things like that, and you find that right print partner that is able to I've just put the link in the description, y'all, in case y'all want to go check out Bosscation. You find that right print partner that gives you exceptional quality that that, hey, I can use. So for me, and y'all know I've had a long time and a hard time on this recommending transfers. So trust and believe. If the Lady Print Boss, LaTonna T. Roberson, recommends a company for doing transfers, then they the bomb diggity bomb, right? And I've had a lot of huge companies that I have gotten transfers from that I'm like, that ain't it. That ain't it. That could not fill jobs, that sent out garbage work, things like that. And if they do it to me, they'll do it to you. And I've also had some amazing quality and with transfers, right? But now I'm on a thing to shop local. And so I am all about community and people, finding people within their community, if at all possible, to do this work for you. So I am creating a list of printers who are in different areas of the country, that have been, I've had some people send me samples and things like that so that I can have a good list for people to reach out. So here in the Dallas area, I've got some really, really nice, some people who are doing some really nice work. And once you find those print partners that are able to output things for you, and they're able to reach your expectations, because your expectations is going to be higher than your customers' expectations, right? Your clients' expectations, they may be up there, but I don't know a good printer whose expectations are not like higher than their clients' expectations. So when you can reach partner with companies that care about your bottom end and your end dollar and your end customer, right? They care about getting that repeat business. Then those are the type of customers or types of companies that I want to work with. And those are the types of companies that y'all want to work with, is people who care about your bottom line. I see so many of these companies now, it's like you can't tell who's a printer from a manufacturer, from a distributor. You can't tell. Like, you've got people who do you have people who sell you digital prints, but they also print. You've got manufacturers who are now selling you wholesale t-shirts, but they sell to the public, and then they also print the shirts. So it's like the space is just kind of caving in. It's, you have people who are known for selling embroidery, and they're selling embroidery products, and now they're selling heat presses, and they're doing they're selling vinyls and things like that. And so for me, it's really confusing, right? Luckily, I have a list of people that I've been dealing with for years, and I know like who are the major players in the game. Like, for me to deal with a company, I like to look at companies, when I'm talking about these big companies, y'all, I like to look at companies who have longevity in the game. So, and those companies who have a good reputation for taking care of their people. You know, the ones that return your emails, the ones that you can pick up the phone and call, not just when things are good, but when things are bad. Those are the types of companies that you want to deal with in business. You want to deal with people who have great reputations and who care about their reputations. So many times companies get so big to where now you're just, forwarded to a robot. Seriously, y'all. So, keep that in mind when you're looking at, who you're going to do business with. And y'all, I want to talk to y'all about one last thing, and then I'm going to go ahead and get up off of here. So a lot of my followers, I'm finding that, and this is what, I'm hesitant to speak on it, but here's the deal. So a lot of times, let's say that I've trained you, right? And you've came and you've taken a class and you've gotten my training. You want to go out and you want to look at someone else and you want to try other things, right? That's all and great, because no one person knows everything, right? There may be, my way may not be some things. You may say, hey, well, I want to get into this, or I want to get into that. But here's the thing. I want to talk to you guys about, we're going to talk about pushing and pulling, right? And when you learn, so I teach 90% of the time in my shop, we're doing a flood and we're doing a push, right? It affects the mesh count that you're going to use, okay? The technique that I teach, you're going to lay a nice amount of ink onto the shirt, which is accurate amount of ink onto the shirt, right? If you then go, and because the method that I teach when you push a squeegee, right, versus pulling ink. When you're pulling ink, you're laying down more ink. Now, I have perfected the art of flooding and pushing, allowing you to lay down the perfect amount of ink for a screen. However, when you're going up in mesh counts, you have to always remember that because you are pushing that squeegee, you're already laying down a nice sheer amount of ink. So sometimes you can go up high in mesh counts when you don't need to. And this is the thing with my people, you guys, some of you guys are just going up in mesh counts when you don't need to, or you don't understand. You're buying screens and saying, oh, well, I need to go up in the mesh count because of this, right? And you don't know the formula of why you're supposed to be doing that, right? And so you have to know why you're doing something. So whenever you're out here and you're listening to people, right, don't jump and say, oh, this is, hey, like, oh, I can do a print flash print and the underbase can be wet, right? A lot of times in a lot of these groups, people are learning just like you. And you have to know who you're getting that information from. Because, for example, there are certain situations where you can do a CMYK print, and I've seen people do a wet white under it. I've also seen people do a gray base under a CMYK print, when technically CMYK is for white shirts and you don't use a white base, so it's not a true CMYK print, right? So you can get into a lot of trouble and you can kind of confuse yourself. I do not recommend printing a wet underbase under anything. For example, if I'm going to print a underbase, I want to flash that underbase. And you guys have to know when a person says flash underbase, right? And you say, well, how do I know if that underbase is overflash, which means it's fully cured? What happens if you overflash it or fully cure it? What happens is that cured plastisol ink, you got the cured plastisol ink and now you print it on top of it. What happens is when you go to wash that image, that shirt, that ink is going to come off that top layer, because cured plastisol does not stick to cured plastisol. Okay, there's a method behind it. And if you're having problems with flashing, what you need to do is you need to go and look up your inks. I tell y'all all the time, you have all of these ink manufacturers that are out here helping you. They have material safety data sheets, they have technical data sheets. Go and look up the cure time, the cure temperature for the product that you're using. Now we have inks that cure at 270. We have inks that cure at 320. So there's a range of stuff that's going on. And the best way for you to know what the flash temp is and what the cure temp is for you to go and look up that information. If you're screen printing, you should have that in your shop. You could take and put it in stuff like this. You can just go onto the sites, print out the inks that you use. Let me turn that to the side because we don't want y'all up in nobody's business. You can print out the inks that you use and put them in a folder, put them on the wall over by where you print, or in in some yellow folders or whatever, and then you have that information. So sometimes when you go there and you look and you say, okay, is that a low cure? Okay, this ink flashes at 170. This ink flashes, okay, I shouldn't go over 200. This ink flashes at that, right? And you have to learn those things, right? And the only true way to know is to do a wash test. And you can do the stretch tests on your jobs when you finish. We teach that type of stuff at Bosscation. But just a few little tips for you guys is don't take everything that you hear in these groups to be the gospel, because a lot of times in business what happens is people repeat what they've heard and what they do not have experience with. I can't tell you how many times I've heard people say certain things about different products or things, and they have no experience with printing that particular product or that particular ink, right? And normally if you're having problems with your inks, the first place you want to go to is the distributor or the manufacturer of that ink and see what they have to say about it. And then from there, if you're still having problems, then that's when you reach out to your business coach or your consultant or someone in the industry that knows what they're talking about. And you have to really vet people. You do. You have to vet people. You cannot tell me how to run a business if you have not ran a business. I cannot go and tell someone how to run their embroidery business when I don't do embroidery, okay? I cannot tell you how to run your DTF business or how that should be done when I don't do DTF. Now, I know a little bit about DTF and I know what I like from what I don't like, and I have done DTF, so I can say some things on it, but I'm not an expert on DTF, right? I'm an expert on screen printing. So, just a few tips for you guys. I hope everybody has a great day. I'm going to go ahead and get up off of here and get to quoting these orders that I need to do. And I've got, I should have a busy day today. I booked 3 events, and I've got a big order coming in for some jackets and some other stuff. I gotta go over and do a delivery to a school, and I'm going to actually go and deliver the shirts myself today because I haven't seen this guy in a year. And sometimes y'all, a lot of times y'all ask me, why come you always be delivering your shirts to people? Why you don't have, why they don't come get it? Or do you charge them for this or do you charge them for that? Some things are perks of doing business with people, and people like it. So for this customer, you spent $2 grand with me. I'm gonna pop up, deliver the shirts myself, see what's going on for the, you know, it's the beginning of the school year. They may need some other things and stuff like that. So y'all don't always look at everything as, oh, I gotta make that 15-minute drive, right? It can be a good thing, especially if you, and it's all about building that relationship with your clients. It's all about building a relationship, getting to know them getting to know you, being familiar with you. And the more that they see you and that you're up in their face and you're talking to them, sometimes you can give them ideas. You may happen to walk in and you're talking to somebody about some shirts, and you're delivering shirts, and somebody over the PTA needs shirts, or they realize, hey, we need shirts for such. There's Latana, and they actually forgot about you. So it's just like is if you were doing that constant contact stuff, if you are constantly emailing your clients and you're constantly being visible to your clients and up in their face. All right, y'all. I'm feeling froggy today, so I'm going to get up off of here, and because it's going to be a hot day today in Texas. All right, y'all. Have a good one. Bye-bye.